Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about timing the transition. When do you start the change of direction in your golf swing? Back in just a moment. Today I want to talk to you about timing your transition. Probably one of the most important parts in the golf swing. And although I've shown you in the past, I'll put a link up, the kind of 6 exercises I think you ought to be doing to anchor your golf swing. Timing the golf swing is probably when you're really going to start bearing the fruit of your labor. And timing means basically understanding that there's going to be a point where your body stops rotating to the right and starts rotating to the left. And I'm talking obviously as a right-handed golfer, when your arms are still on the way up. The reason for this is the kinetic energy that you're going to give to the golf club as you pull it up and around your body. So starting the backswing with the left shoulder coming down and then hinging the right arm and wrist and going up into this kind of feeling of a waiter position is actually lifting and pulling the club up. So although your body will actually stop rotating when it reaches around about 90 degrees, the club is still trying to move up. And I think an awful lot of you are waiting for it. You're waiting till the club reaches what you think is its highest point. And sometimes the club will actually go so far as to pull you up with it. Now you don't want to wait for the golf club. First of all, because it could pull you up. Secondly, because when it gets to the top, the arms have a brief moment in time where they could start actually hitting down at the golf ball. And thirdly, because you're not going to be able to get as much lag tension onto the golf club as you could do if you started the change of direction a slight bit earlier. So this is what I'd like you to do. If you think of the first exercise we were doing, there's no pause at the point where I stop rotating to the right. I go straight into this kind of move and then straighten my legs and rotate through the ball. And I don't want there to be any pause in that when you're swinging a golf club. That means that when you get to chest height, although your arms are still being pulled up by the golf club, and you can see the kind of energy that the golf club has, I don't want you to wait for them. On the contrary, we're going to use the energy that the club has to pull the arms up, and we're going to start moving in the opposite direction. And as you can see, to start off with, as the hips start to turn, the shoulders will remain, and then they'll start to pull with it and resist the arms. Now, obviously, this will automatically shorten your backswing, but it's going to create tension because the energy that's being used by the club to pull your arms up and the energy of the body turning back in the opposite direction are going to create even more tension on the golf club. That means it's also important that once you start, you go for it. There's no hanging around now because you've got to create more energy with your body than the club has, and when it's trying to actually release this tension down into the golf ball. And getting your body down and around quickly is the key to basically keeping this tension on the golf ball so that it all releases at that point of impact. How are you going to practice this? Well, you're going to have to do it with a golf club, and you have to do it with the golf club because you need to feel the weight of the golf club. We want to have the feeling of turning as we did in the exercise, and when the shoulders can't turn any further, your hands should be around about at shoulder height. They will be wanting to go further back, and you've got to simply ignore them, go into the move, really change direction, get the left hip back out of the way, and then get the legs working so that the rotation goes further, and get that feeling of these opposites happening at the top of your golf swing. If you're doing it right, you'll start getting that impact position on the ground somewhere inside your left heel. If you're not timing it correctly, then you'll get impacts too early or too late or not at all with the ground. So really you want to be practicing that until you have the feeling that you are getting an impact position on the ground with which you can work with. And you can see this is actually quite tiring to do. And then you put a ball in the way and rip it. This is really going to take your game to another level. It's going to put another bit of lag tension on the club, which means you're going to have even more capability of feeling where it is. Your small brain, your unconscious, is going to have a far better feeling for how to time the actual impact position. And believe me, although it is a more tiring exercise and a far more dynamic exercise, you're going to really start striking a golf ball like never before. It will stop you standing up, it will build more tension. Timing the transition is the key to taking your golf swing to the next level. Get out there and practice it. If you liked it, as ever, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. Hit the little bell if you want to get notifications the next time that I post a video. I'll be back very soon. My philosophy is up here if you'd like to download it. I think that's everything. Bye-bye now.